Below us are dark depths with unspeakable beings lurking and waiting patiently, and we think the dangers lie within those dark depths. But look above. There lie the true horrors, in the vast obsidian sky, the black seas of infinity. Welcome to the Twisted Tentacle Inn. Today we'll be talking about the common tropes present in cosmic horror or Lovecraftian horror. In this series, we'll be discussing the many tropes that are present in these stories so that you can incorporate them into your role-playing game and add a little bit more cosmic horror to it. The first trope that I wanted to talk about is the one of ancient, uncaring, godlike beings. This is the trope that I think most people are familiar with when dealing with cosmic horror, and it's why I'm making this video first. One of the major concepts that makes cosmic horror unique from other types of horror genres is the existence of creatures beyond the understanding of humanity. These creatures often have motivations that are completely alien to us and generally impossible for humans to fathom. Handling these creatures is unique in the sense that they shouldn't be depicted as mortal. Generally, when I play a game where cosmic horror elements are present, these ancient godlike beings are generally not statted out. In other words, I do not create stat blocks for them, because if you create a stat block, everybody knows then they can be killed. Well, these ancient beings should not be able to be killed or dispatched so easily. These things are more powerful than humans can fathom. They are beyond the understanding of humanity. Their presence, their mere existence is impossible for humans to fathom. Therefore, it is impossible to destroy them. I'll give you a few examples as to how something like this can be the case, because some people may be wondering, well, it's just a big creature, why can't I just keep hitting it? But a lot of these beings are not made of flesh and bone. A lot of them live or exist beyond time and space. Something like Cthulhu. A lot of people who have never read The Call of Cthulhu or any Lovecraftian stories, they know Cthulhu as just this big creature with tentacles dangling from its mouth or its chin or whatever, and it just smashes and kills things. But they don't realize that Cthulhu has powers beyond just smashing and killing. It is a massive being that is lying dormant, and as it dreams in relay. And its dreams alone have power over humans and humanity. Its dreams can cause madness in anyone who comes near. But not just that. Cthulhu is a creature who came from a different part of the universe. It comes from a different point in time and space. There are other beings in cosmic horror that exist in this reality, but they simultaneously exist in other realities in different times. So you may be seeing this creature in front of you, but as a human, you're limited. Even now, like we know in reality, beyond these stories, beyond anything, we know that the electromagnetic spectrum is far more prevalent than what we can perceive. We only see 1/billionth of reality. What you're looking at in front of you, you watching this video, me standing here, is only 1/billionth of reality. Everything else around that is part of the electromagnetic spectrum, you cannot perceive it. You cannot see it. There may be other things floating around that you may not be able to even fathom or see. The same thing happens with these ancient godlike beings. They exist, and you may be able to see it in front of you, but it is also simultaneously existing in the past, the present, and the future, as well as in other dimensions and other worlds, but yet it looks like it's right there. So I know that may be a hard concept for some people to grasp, and that is why these beings are beyond the understanding of humanity, because just their mere existence is beyond the grasp of some people, and most people, even studied scholars, because studied scholars have this knowledge of how physics and science works. It causes madness in them because they are more susceptible to not understanding what these things truly are, and it completely obliterates their knowledge of what existence is, just seeing these things. So that's why these things are far more complex than they're made out to be by people who just want to bank on a big creature named Cthulhu coming and smashing buildings, like some kaiju or something. It is most definitely not something like that. So Generally, so this is why I don't stat these creatures out, because it is literally impossible for humans to destroy them. At best, what humans can hope to do, and just like in Call of Cthulhu, is extend their dormant state if they happen to be dormant, like Cthulhu or like Nyarlathotep or like Azathoth, whose mere state of slumber means that the clock is ticking for when Azathoth awakens. It will mean the destruction of our universe, right? So if you've ever read these stories, you'll understand. To maintain the mystery and horror of the existence of such creatures, generally don't provide stat blocks. That's my biggest tip on here. There just isn't a reason for a PC to even fathom trying to lure one of these creatures into combat, which is why I feel if you're facing some kind of ancient Lovecraftian creature, a great old one, they don't even care that the PCs are there. They shouldn't focus attention on the player characters. There's no reason for them to. The player characters are like ants to them. They're not even worthy of their attention of looking at them. So the player characters should not have a reason to lure them into combat. Like some stories, I feel cheapen the effect of such a being. So stories where Cthulhu comes after the player characters like some kaiju and is trying to like attack them and swing at them. That should never be the case with a creature that is as ancient as Cthulhu. These creatures do not care about humans. Their plans and their goals have nothing to do with humanity and are not anything that anybody can understand. And therefore, they don't care. The PCs can't harm them. They should never focus attention on them, and there should never be a combat between the player characters and such a creature. I think it cheapens the experience, and I think a lot of people bank on using these creatures. Now that they're part of the public domain, they want to bank on the word or the name Cthulhu or Lovecraft or Azathoth or whatever other creature they may want to use for their stories or their adventure, but I think it cheapens it and takes away from the true horror that is present in a Lovecraftian or cosmic horror story. So I hope that this helps in terms of bringing some of these things or these elements into your role-playing game. If cosmic horror or Lovecraftian horror is something that you're into, then I hope that this series helps you kind of gather some more information for what a true cosmic horror, the tropes that are present, and what that type of story entails. Until next time, thank you guys for listening. Leave any comments below. If you have other thoughts about this, definitely put them down in the comments below. This is an ongoing series. There's going to be, I think, 8 or 9 episodes because there are that many tropes that I want to go over that are present in a cosmic horror story, and I think it's really important if you're writing your own adventure that includes a cosmic horror twist to it. Again, I'm your Innkeeper from the Twisted Tentacle Inn. Thank you guys for listening, and check in anytime. I'll talk with you then.
Down there.